Okay, this is the Father's Day car show. It's not a slideshow this time, it's actual video. And my sister informed me, well, she's incorrect, that my channel is boring. She doesn't actually have any content on her channel, so what's she talking about? Anyway, so I decided to cover a car show again because, this car show. Yeah. So there was one at the church, and the reviews channel, the first ever reviews channel thing did the car show. So on the reviews channel, 2011. The car show at the church started in around 2001, and it's now 2016. And here we see a lot of the vehicles from the Christ Community Church Milpitas car show, 2016, including this lowrider. That looks really cool. It's a Mercury lowrider. I could name all the cars, but I figure they know who they are, so I'm just going to narrate. And yeah, it was very cool. I guess a car show, something interesting. A lot of my other stuff are political blogs and rants and reviews of different movies and reviews of toys. The toy reviews have the highest ratings, and also music videos on the other channel have the highest ratings. So people are watching them. They're not boring. Anyway, we have here a car show that might be, if you're not into cars, you might watch it. Of course, then what would you be doing clicking on it? So there you go. There's some Corvettes. There's BMW. Yeah, you can guess at which ones are which. I mean, you can freeze frame it, look at it. It's a car show, and here we have Mustangs. There were some Mustangs. It's a Shelby Mustang from the 60s. And there were Camaros in the back. The Mustang, the Shelby's cool. There's, lots of cars. Lots of guys brought their cars. It's a good outreach project thing. Originally started with Kelly Williams and his friend. I don't know what the friend's name is. I forgot. I met him, but I didn't know what his name is. So this isn't a commercial for the car show necessarily because half of them are, I don't know. And the Shelby was not a Ford plant car, although the orange one that's shown later is from the Milpitas Ford plant. So there's the back there. I was like cars as a kid and everything, so did shows about cars and things like that. Here's the one from the Ford plant. Here's a Mustang, and next to it is a Porsche. But there's a Mustang there, and it's got a Minion. Yeah, well. So fastbacks and regular backs cars. Here's the Porsche. Porsche has kind of a Volkswagen engine, but it's Italian. And this one has dual engines in it. You see them in the back. Yeah, so I always thought it would be cool to have a flying car. But there aren't any flying cars there, although there were some that looked like they could fly, which we'll see in a bit. The colors are nice. I like bright colors. That's cool. And there's a lowrider truck. Guess it doesn't matter if there's ums and ahs in there just because it's me narrating a car show. Here we have a Chevrolet truck that was in the car show from a couple of years ago, actually. It's still there. The thumbnail is that truck. It's not mine. My Dodge truck that's just been seen in many of my feature films is on its last legs, but still surviving, and is not proper for a car show. The inside's all gumped up from being old, and it's all cracked and faded, and the seats are all cracked and stuff. So it's and sometimes things break on it that cost thousands of dollars. Here we have a Holiday, a Oldsmobile car that was actually for sale. and there was quite a lot of talk at the car. Of course, I'm not going to buy it, but Don Mercado was out there with the guy that was selling it. And they may have actually made a deal on it to sell the car. I mean, if you're going to buy something like that, a classic car, yeah, it's a collector's thing. It needs some work on the seats, but you may not want to change that. You may want to just keep it that way. Anyway, so you would, but it needs some repair. But the body is in great condition, and it's down the street. Anyway, so Diablo. Here is a car from the 60s. So car from the 60s. And, yeah, so there's one. And, yeah, it's a General Motors car. I don't know all of them. I should have written them down, but I didn't. This is not really a review so much as a commentary. So there you go. It's an Oldsmobile. It's a Chevrolet. It's in the back. And it's cool. So you have... There weren't as many cars, but there were more people talking about them in between services and after the second one. This is mainly from the first service. There's a hot rod from the 30s that's been done up to look like there's a hot rod. Yeah. It's a Ford, I think, or Chevy. It's really cool looking. So yeah, there's a hot rod. Dad totally dig these. He's driving around. He got to see some of these car shows all the way up until 2008 or so. So he did get to see some of them. This is interesting. He got to ride in one of them. But yeah, so but not in the hot rod. Then we have a car that looks like it could fly. It's another one of those roadsters that was seen. There was one that was seen briefly in the mall a couple of months ago, and this is a red version that was purple. This one's red with black trim. Yeah, it's a three-wheeled vehicle. It's technically a car, but it's got a third wheel in the back, and it does look like it could actually take off, fly, but it can't. It came from the future, from the distant future, through space-time. And here we have a Camaro. The Camaro Club showed up. 67 Camaros everywhere. Yeah, and at least 168 there. But some of them are very similar to the Trans Am from the Smoking the Bandit. It's because the model car that year was very similar, 67, 68. The Trigger car was the same mold, but just different parts. The Camaro and the early Trans Am. Stayed that way in the 80s, too, with different ones. Kind of split off since then, and they don't really look the same, although this year I think they tried to pay homage to that. But these are earlier ones. This metal fleck candy apple red kind of looking paint job. Classic looking custom, obviously. But the seats, everything looks pristine. It's awesome. And, of course, they have, around the look around, they have a Chewbacca dangling from it. Excellent. But, yes, let's see. What if it's Scott's car? It's probably... Is that a Chewbacca or just... Yeah, it's a Chewbacca. And a bird feather. Looks like... So, yeah, but we have lots of... This Camaro was also there. SS. That's their Super Sport model. Two of them. Yeah, real nice and shiny. You can see your face in it. Yeah, so it was cool to see the Camaros. And, yeah, so outreach thing after Vacation Bible School, they brought out the cars. From the cars. There's at least one car from the Cars cartoon out there, and here it is, the Z28. Yeah, so there's the model from the animated. Not cars like the Pixar, but the 70s cars. And yeah. And there's another one too. Later. Here we have. Oh, this was a Camaro that when you walk up to it looks black, but then when the light hits it, it's actually really dark green with metal fleck. Just when the light hits it's the right way. It's bullet color. Bullet color is a little on the bullet car from Bullet. An I is from was a Mustang, but this car is painted that color. And here we have a very old car that looks very old and beat up and daily driver, but it's very old, so that's cool. I think it's another Porsche. Looks like it, or Fiat, Porsche or Fiat. And over here we have a cruiser truck. That looks really cool. It's modern, but it's designed to look like a hot rod. And it's still cool, yeah. If I had a new cruiser truck, I would totally put it out there. But yeah, you can't really haul anything with it, but it looks cool. It's convertible. A chick magnet truck, and out in the parking lot we have another Shelby, a white Shelby, also from the Cars, and yes, from years ago, and yeah, that was the very similar to some of the other ones, and yeah, and here we have of course, the Scooby-Doo bus, the Volkswagen bus, 63 Volkswagen bus. And me going, zoinks, Shaggy. Zoinks. Yep, it's the car from Scooby-Doo, not to be confused with the later one. And here we have just a truck. Somebody put out there. An older Charger. That's the Charger that was mentioned, but it's even earlier than you thought it was. Brad thought it was 68. That's earlier. That's way earlier. Yeah, so this one had a trunk compartment thing that had a secret passage where you could tuck the tire away and other stuff, and this guy was showing it off. And it had fuzzy dice on the look around. So did the one that was for sale. Here's another car with the car on top. With the little toy car version on top. And, yeah, another Camaro. There were a few of those. And what they were out there. Somebody's got to bring a Dukes of Hazzard out there next time. So somebody out there, if you see this video and you're in town in Milpitas, find a way to go to the Clear Lake and Park Victoria Church and ask them if you can come to the car show next year. We want to see a Dukes of Hazzard car out there because that would be awesome. So I know there's one in town, so yeah, just head on over there. It'd be awesome. I don't think there's a Batmobile guy in town too, so he should come out. But yeah, cool. So here's more car show, more of that funny-looking car, and this was some footage of the steamer, which Dad rode in years ago, and so it wasn't running, so this time they had to actually carry it in on a pallet and load it, put it in. The bikes go with these are old antique bikes that won awards, and they go with recently, and they go with the black lowrider truck, the bike rack. These are antique bikes and custom bikes. I'll cut out the pause. 1328. Okay, and now we're back to the custom bikes. They're designed to look old. Well, some of them are old chassis that have been customized. The award-winning one is the silver one in the back. He's a bike aficionado. They're customized, but they're very cool. And that's still cool. And here we have another car that similar to the one Dad got to ride in years ago. Not the same. And, yeah, that's a Ford. That's a Model T. Done up. Not the original paint. It's done up in bright colors. They were all black. They came in one color, black. So yeah, that hot rod. Although the color is an odd choice, the car is very distinct. This hot rod, Comet, very similar to something the Green Hornet back in the day would have had. Not the newer one, but or maybe something like Dick Tracy would have had. Yeah, let's go back further. It'd be Dick Tracy's car. Yeah. But yeah. But it would be yellow. Dick Tracy. And yeah, so it's Mercury. It's not comets, but it's similar. It's got the split window, which means you're, yeah. Oh. Mercury Comet. So, then there's the Sunshine Delivery Truck seen in the original story. I understand the guy has another one that, and there's a pace car next to it, Mustang pace car from 1994, and there's the Mustang. That looks like kind of a cross between Classic and Daily Driver. It looks like it's had a little sun beating on it. Yeah. So then we have the Corvettes again, and another shot of the Shelby. And yeah, so this video is probably not going to be very exciting, although for car enthusiasts, they can drool all over the cars. Here it is, a little long, but yeah, I really enjoyed the thing. I had to take the audio off because they were playing music the whole time that was from other stuff. And I'm going to pay the royalties to all those songs that were being played. Yeah, so I'm going to put a sort of a music track playing with this audio just to give it a little atmosphere. Trick you into really liking the car show. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So, and I'm going to put it in mono just to be weird. So, yes, and here we have, so you'll hear the music, but here we have the Mustangs. The Mustangs. And I guess there was one Charger that we missed. Oh, yeah, there's one of the owners. The owner was explaining that is from the Ford plant, Milpitas, and we just got a shot of his butt. Wonderful. Probably didn't need that part. I'm going to cut this clip. 17. All right, so there's the Porsche again. And the owner wanted to show off the two engines. Because engines. And here is the truck. Again, the lowrider truck. Chevy truck. The parents used to have a Chevy truck, and then a Ford truck, and then a Ranger. Ford Ranger, smaller truck. The Chevy truck was from the 60s. The Ford truck was from a little later. 60s and 70s. And the Ranger was from the 80s. The early 90s. And the Dodge Ram is from the 90s. So here we have the other car again. But yeah, none of those are around anymore. And here is a car from Fast and the Furious, which is cool that showed up. We got to see a Camaro from the Fast and the Furious. Not really, but it's the same kind. And there it goes. I decided to just get a little action. Here's the other thing, and we come to an end, and into the thing. That's it.